Hi class 2, welcome to English literature class. Today we are going to do a new chapter, that is chapter number 8, the changing tree. Okay, all of you please open page number 92. So I hope all of you have written down the question answers of chapter 6. Okay, please learn by heart that chapter 6, and today we are going to do chapter number 8, the changing tree. So in this story we are going to learn how the tree is changing. Okay, so here in this story you will see there are 4 princes. Now who are called princes? You know that king. Who is called king? King means the person who rules the nation or rules any region or kingdom, that is called king. And king's son, they are called prince, right? So the king's son is called prince. So in this story you will get 4 prince. Okay, so let us read the story first. Once upon a time, 4 young princes heard a story about a wonderful tree called the redbird tree. None of them had ever seen a redbird tree. Each prince wished to be the first to see one. So the eldest prince asked the driver of the king's chariot to take him deep into the woods where this tree grew. It was winter, and the tree had no leaves, nor buds. It was black and bare. The prince could not understand why this was called a redbird tree, but he asked no questions. So, once upon a time, 4 young princes heard a story. So, how many princes was there? 4 princes. Okay? 4 princes heard a story about a wonderful tree. And that wonderful tree is which tree? That wonderful tree is the redbird tree. Okay? What is the name of the tree? Redbird tree. None of them had ever seen the redbird tree. So, none of them had seen this redbird tree. Each of these princes, so there I have told there were 4. Okay, there were 4 young princes. Okay, so 4 young princes were there, and everyone they desired that they want to see that redbird tree. Okay, now the first one, or the eldest prince, he wished to go first. Okay, so the eldest prince asked the driver of the king's chariot. You know, the king used to go in the chariot. Okay, so there is king's chariot. So in that king's chariot, the eldest prince asked the driver that please take me to that redbird tree. Then he took him into that woods where this tree was there. Woods means jungle or forest. He took him into that forest where the tree was there, and it was winter season, and the tree had no leaves. You know that in winter season what happens? Winter season the trees shed their leaves, no? So all the leaves and the birds all were shed. Nothing was present on the tree. Okay, only except the branches were there. It was black and bare. So what type of tree the eldest prince saw? So I have written here, the eldest prince saw black and bare tree. Why it was black and bare? Nothing was there. No leaves, no flowers, no birds, nothing. That's why it was black and bare, fully empty. Okay. The prince could not understand why this was called a redbird tree, but he asked no question. Then the eldest prince was thinking that if there is no leaves, no buds, nothing, then why the name is given redbird tree? Then the next prince went. Okay, so the eldest prince, he had got no answer, means why the redbird tree the name was given. He cannot understand, because the tree was black and bare. When he went to see the tree, it was black and bare. Okay, now come to the next page, page number 93. Later in the spring season, the next son went, not in the same season. So the eldest prince went in the winter season, right? So he went in the winter season. The next prince went in the spring season. Now let's see what the next prince saw. So the next prince, he also asked the driver of the king's chariot to take him to that red bird tree. At this time, it was covered with red birds. Okay, so the next prince, he was very lucky enough, he could see the red birds. So which son can see the red bird? The second son or the next prince, second prince can see these red birds. Okay, so there were red birds. Okay, there were red birds when the second prince went to see the red bird tree. He could see the red birds. Okay, because it was what season? It was spring season. We know that in spring season flowers comes out or the birds comes out. Okay, now the rains had begun with the third prince. Now when the third prince was willing to go to see that tree, that time rain had already started. Okay, and the trees all were covered with green leaves. Already the leaves and the fresh new leaves were coming out. Okay, he asked no questions about it, but he see no reason for calling it with red bird tree. So when the third prince went, he saw green leaves, full of green leaves. Why? Because it was raining. Okay, so it was rainy season, R-A-I-N-Y. It was rainy season and the third prince could see the green leaves. Then he is thinking, if all the tree is covered with full of green leaves, then why it is called red bird tree? He cannot understand. He cannot see any red thing. No red birds was visible. No red birds were visible in the tree. Okay, so he was totally confused that why it is called red bird tree. But he didn't ask any question. Sometime after this, the youngest prince asked to be taken to see the red bird tree. After that, the youngest prince went to see the tree. So, youngest prince, he went to see the tree. Okay. And when he went, that time it was covered with brown bean pods. Okay. So, that means after the rainy season, it comes the autumn. Okay. So, after that, in autumn season, youngest prince went, and what he found some brown bean pods were there. He also couldn't see the red birds. Okay, then the same question aroused in his mind, that why the color of the this tree is named as red bird tree. Okay, nothing red bird, he cannot see anything. So when he came back from the woods, he ran into the garden where his brothers were playing. So when he came back from the woods, he ran into the garden where his brothers were playing. So all of the brothers were playing, and there they announced, I have seen the red bird tree. Who announced that I have seen the red bird tree? The second prince saw the red bird. Okay, so he announced that he saw the red bird tree. So have I, said the eldest prince, but it was black and bare. Now, the last son, that is the youngest prince, when he came back, he was just happily telling that I went to see the red bird tree. Then the eldest prince told that yes, I also went, but it was black and bare. It was not a red bird tree. The tree has hundreds of beautiful red birds, said the second prince. But the second prince is telling, no, I have seen all the red birds present there in the tree. It was so beautiful, so wonderful. That is why it is called red bird tree. So the second prince is telling, I have seen the red bird, so that is a red bird tree. Okay, he is telling that is why the name is given red bird tree. Now turn to page number 94. The third prince said, why do you say it has red birds? It is covered with green leaves. Third prince is telling, no, why you are telling it red bird? Green leaves was there present. I saw. The prince who had seen the tree last laughed at his brothers, saying, the last prince was laughing. Why? Because he has seen black. I have just seen that the tree, it is not black and bare. It doesn't have red buds. It doesn't have green leaves. It was covered with little brown bean pods. Now the last or the youngest prince, he was laughing. Why? Because all the three sons were telling all wrong things. He is saying, no, when I went, I have not seen all the things what you have seen. That is, it is not black and bare. it is not having red birds, it is not having the green leaves. But I found brown bean pods. What he found? He's telling, I found brown bean pods. Now, their father, that is the king, the king heard them and waited until they stopped talking. Now, until they're all quarreling and conversation was stopped, so the king waited for them. Then he said, my sons, you have all seen the same tree, but each of you saw it at different times of the year. So what was the problem behind this different changing, the change which was taking place in this redbud tree? It is because of what? Because of the season. So the king solved their problem by telling that, son, you have all seen the right tree, you have all seen the same tree, but you have seen it in different season, different time of the year. And you know the tree changes according to the season. Yes, in the winter season it sheds its leaves, and in spring seasons it comes out with the new birds. Okay, and in rainy seasons it gives out new leaves, and in autumn season also it is giving out fruits. So the different changes are coming in the tree because of different season. So the king told that if they would have seen the tree in the same season, then there would have been no confusion. But as they were seeing the tree in different season, so they saw this tree in different way. Okay, so all of you understood the story. Please read this story and write the meanings in your English literature copy. Okay, bye all of you.